Members of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly are voting today to elect a presiding member after several failed attempts. William Evans Inkum speaks to the former mayor of Kumasi, Dr. Samuel Sapon, ahead of the elections.
All right, so he served as Kumasi mayor for 4 years before becoming the Ashanti regional minister. He also once the Central Regional Minister, and currently the Chief Executive Officer of the State Housing Company. We are speaking to Honorable Dr. Samuel Sapon. Of course, you're also the parliamentary candidate for the NDC in the Inshiaiso constituency. Honorable, you served for 4 years, but never did we hear it's such a monumental impasse as far as presiding member elections in the KMA is concerned.
Yeah, it is true. And thank you very much. We all know that when we talk of Ashanti region, majority of the populace are with one political party, which is MPP. And for that matter, if you are elected or appointed as a mayor, then you have to make sure that partisan politics is put aside. I mean, so far as the local governance is concerned. If one makes a mistake and indulge himself or herself in partisan politics in the district assembly governance, then there will be a problem. And this is exactly what is happening at KMA.
So what did you do differently during your tenure in office?
Yeah, I mean, initially, I called all the assembly members and then made them to understand that, I mean, so far as the local governance is concerned, it's devoid of partisan politics. And for that matter, I wouldn't like anybody to play any partisan politics in the district assembly, so that at the end of the day, we all come together and then fight a common goal, which is actually development. And they actually understood it. And I mean, when you came to KMA at that time, you wouldn't see anybody with any party political callous. And that actually worked well with us.
Now, the KMA has held as many as 9 elections, but none has been able to produce a presiding member for the assembly. We are going for the 10th one. Very soon we move to the venue grounds and then supervise these particular elections. Do you foresee an end to this particular stalemate?
Yeah, I'm now foreseeing an end because I'm aware that the traditional authorities have actually stepped in and they have actually suggested one of their chiefs just to be someone who they could actually run around as a presiding member. And he, as I already said, he is out. I mean, so far as partisan politics in Ashanti region is concerned, but he's a chief. And his presence actually casts over, I mean, so far as his existence is concerned. And I'm very hopeful that this time around, they will definitely endorse him for him to become a presiding member, and Kumasi will definitely move on.
All right, so that is exactly what we are hoping.
Still focusing on the Ashanti region, let's go live to Parliament members Nkum, who is at the events grounds where the KMA is expected to elect the chief of Amokum, Nana Edu Mensah Asare, as a new presiding member of the KMA. So Evans will be joining us shortly to give us that update. So the chief was nominated by the Menshia Palace after the assembly failed to approve of all the persons who had been put forward by government. All right, so if you're also around the Ashanti region, specifically where the event is being held, remember you can get interactive. Send your comments on our social media platforms. Facebook and Twitter is News on TV3. William Evans Inkum will be joining us shortly from the events grounds where the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly is expected to elect the chief of Amokum, Nana Edu Mensah Asare, as a new presiding member.
Kumasi, and it's, as you know already, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly has not been able to elect a presiding member within a period of 1 year. So many developments happening as far as this particular election is concerned. But if you care to know, 3 members who were appointed in the early election have been revoked from the assembly, and we are talking about Nana Edumhene Bafo Cheye Kese, Domia Brahene Nana Kusi Buadum, and Bebrehene Nana Yauata. They have been revoked. Now we have new entrants in the person of the chief linguist or the Achiamehene Nana Kwame Bonsu, Asetrehene Nana Mensa Bonsu, and the Amekom Hene Nana Edu Mensa Asare. We will be speaking to the PRO for the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly and also a member of the Assembly, Francis Dodovi. In fact, he's a government appointee. Last week when we met, we spoke to them and they also shared with us their view as far as this particular, what I call a monumental impasse in the KMA is concerned. So, let me start with Dodovi. Francis, it looks like we are getting to the end of the road.
Very well so. Yeah, I think very well so, yeah.
Is that what you have always wanted? Because you had opposed to the candidature of Abraham Boadi, even at a point that he needed or he had wanted to go solo?
That would be unfair to say we had opposed to Abraham Boadi's candidature. The last time that we voted, he was having a commanding lead. But there's a special arrangement among assembly members and some traditional authority. I have to say that some performances have not been very good, so they should be taken off. So now, per the arrangement, I think it is a Makomini that is going to be on the ballot to see whether he will also sail through. But per the arrangement that we did previously and all the consultations that have gone on, I'm very optimistic that by the end of the day we should get a presiding member.
All right, thank you so much. Well, let's speak to the PRO of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. So, Godwin, a lot of dynamics, okay? I mean, looking at where you started and where you've gotten to. Now, we have a compromise candidate who also has the blessing of the Asantehene here. Do you foresee a possible vote of, a possible rejection from the assembly members?
No, I should say that for now, I do not foresee a rejection by the honorable assembly members. Why do I say so? If you look at what happened at the last voting or the last sitting, most of them had said that if Honorable Abraham Edusei, Honorable, Abraham Boadi, and then Honorable Michael Edusei Bozu had stepped down, whoever was going to, emerge as a candidate, they were going to actually vote for that person. So our expectation is that obviously they will have to, endorse the new candidate that is coming. But it is also important for us to note that as it stands, Honorable Abraham Boadi and then Honorable Michael Edusei have to officially step down before the new candidate, pick the nomination for and then fires. Then the new candidate also that has also come needs to also be sworn in before he officially becomes a member of the assembly. So these are the two things that are going to happen.
All right. So having talked about the new candidate who has to be sworn in. In fact, that is also going to happen to the other two entrants. We're talking about the Achiamehene Nana Kwame Bonsu and then Asetrehene Nana Mensa Bonsu. All of them are going to be sworn in before the process starts.
Yes, of course. If you look at it, 3 of the traditional council appointees have been withdrawn, and then 3 have also been brought in. So, like I said, as it stands now, until they are sworn in, they are not members of the assembly. But I think the proceedings are ongoing. So very soon they will be sworn in, and once they become members of the assembly, then the 2 candidates that were in the race, Honorable Michael Edusei Bonsu and then Honorable Abraham Boadi, are going to, step down for him, for the Makomhene to be confirmed. That is what all of us actually expect to happen this afternoon.
Now, there were so many agitation last week from certain quarters. We're talking about some group of people who have also invoked Section 9 of the Local Government Act 462. In fact, they were saying that, they are going to ensure that all the assembly members are revoked from the assembly, or are impeached. Then another group of persons were also of the view that this whole stalemate can be attributed to the fact that the appointees are also working to undermine the progress of the assembly. Well, I've been joined by the two factions, and but Gordon, you will not leave us. I've been joined by the two factions, and then they are going to tell us if they are satisfied. How things have gotten to. Well, so this is how far we've come. Are you satisfied?
Of course, we are. But we are going to be fully satisfied when, after the whole proceedings, we get a presiding member for the assembly. Now, we've all heard that Nana Amokum have been asked as a compromise candidate by Malaysia. Now, members of the assembly are meeting, and the effect of the meeting is that at the end of the day, we are supposed to have a presiding member for the assembly. Now, we just hope that both the elected assembly members and the appointed assembly members all come to a compromise and endorse the presiding membership of Amokum so that development in Kumasi can proceed. All right, so that was Thompson. In fact, his group was saying to the impeachment of all the assembly members because they had also contributed to the stalemate. Well, I have the Abrepo electoral area, Abrepo Patasi electoral area. In fact, I'm the assembly member. Your name Ohene, right? Ohene. Okay, so Ohene, you had earlier invoked Section 5 of the Local Government Act 462. You're also seeking to impeach all the government appointees. Now there's a compromise. Are you satisfied?
I am. And all that I was saying was the government appointee issue should be scrapped totally by every government or the successive governments, in the sense that we, the elected assembly members, even if all of us vote for the one standing or contesting, we would still need some votes from the appointees, which the appointees, I know for sure, have taken some stance. And that does not argue well for the assembly.
All right, sorry, we have to cut you because you are running out of time, but we are getting back at 3:30 for more updates on the KMA election. We will be continuing discussion with the PRO of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. My name is William Ibansi Kumigo.